Yep.
Recording?
Yep.
Watch it. Is it on there perfectly?
Yep.
Okay, we've got a few coals here from the burn pile next door. I'm just going to sprinkle a couple of the small ones in to illustrate what will happen if you get any of these embers in the summertime inside your plastic recycling barrels. All you see right here is a nice, just one little crack is all we need for this to get in. One ember. You can see already there's a little bit of smoke coming from the container so far. And down below there's one of the vineyard workers right now. He's just got done stirring up a pile. So the size of the ember that we used in there was maybe half an inch. Just one small one that fell. You can see on the top there, there's about the size of what actually went inside. And the rest of these I dumped just down on the bottom here just to give you an idea of where the wind's coming from. At ground level here it's very, very light, maybe 3 miles per hour. The temperature right now is about 50 degrees. It rained day before yesterday. The relative humidity today at right now at about 9:15 in the morning is about 48%. It's actually kind of wet today. So this is very light conditions. This is not even anything compared to what you would see during the summertime. And so imagine this now on a 98-degree day in summer. Everything's dry, and this is now sitting by your house. You can see the smoke inside starting to build up a little bit in there. The only thing inside this recycling container at this point is 2 cardboard boxes and some newspapers, the Sunday paper. One Sunday paper. If you just saw inside there now, we had one of those embers that I had left on top melted through. You can see the rest of them now are all starting to melt through. They're taking their time, but these are very easily good representation of what you would find an actual wildfire that you'd be landing up against your house in your vinyl gutters, on your trash cans, on your recycling barrels. Inside we're starting to get a little bit more smoke development here. It's mostly smoldering in there at this time. But now we've also got the addition of a few more embers as they start to melt through the lid and fall inside. Once this gets a little bit more wind inside of it here, we should start to see some flames. And potentially we're going to start seeing some melt through on the sides of the barrel. And there we go. Now we have fire. I'm going to step back, quit talking, and let you see what happens to your recycling can or your trash can that most of you folks leave sitting right up against the side of your house. Right now the wind's picked up. It's coming from my back out of the north. It's about 10 miles an hour. We actually have a pile next door that we had just burned the other day, where we got the embers from. And you can see it's starting to produce a lot of smoke, but if we're at your house trying to fight a fire, during a wildfire, you're going to have all sorts of smoke surrounding your house. So this may in fact go unnoticed. Right now the lid's starting to close on itself, which is going to do a great job of containing the heat. I know I promised not to talk, but I kind of want to walk you guys through some key points here, what we're looking at. So the plastic's starting to melt, and we're going to get a really smoldering hot fire inside, and eventually this thing's going to probably burn through the lid. I can see now down on the bottom there, we're starting to get some melt through right there. Starting to kind of get hot in there, and it's going to melt. We're going to end up, but this thing's probably going to catch fire and turn into a flammable liquid fire, and we have it contained on the ground here. Again, this is one ember. Can't see it now, but right over here where that metal connection is, there's a little hole. It's starting to get really hot right there, and I can see it starting to loosen that. It's looking for air. The top of the lid is now caved in. You can see the wind is actually having an effect on the loose melting plastic here. Timestamp right now is we are exactly at 8 minutes. We're at 9 minutes, 20 seconds. We're exactly 10 minutes into the first since we dropped the Ember. We have wind speed right now about 10 miles an hour sustained.